thought I'd see you later, and I'd tell you that I loved you if I did. It's so strange deciding how to feel.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to today's video. Basically, I wanted to... Well, first of all, I need a haircut. So I wanted to come in here and give myself a new haircut. Nothing crazy. My ends don't need to be cut. It's just my curtain bangs are a little overdue for some cutting. So that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about gratitude, and how it's been benefiting my life recently, and how that sort of ties into showing love not only for yourself, which is first and foremost the most important thing, but also showing up for others and showing them your love and showing them your gratitude, and not just keeping it like internally for yourself, but expressing that and sharing that with others. So let's get into it. Okay, this setup is like actually really wonky, but it's gonna have to do for now. I have this lovely mirror right here that I'm gonna be using to cut my hair. And then I also lit this gingerbread house candle that I'm pretty sure is from Five Below and has like a lot of, I don't know, chemicals in it, but it smells really good. And I like the lighting that it gives. And then I have this rose quartz crystal with me today. All right, let's begin. Let me grab my hairbrush. And we have these scissors, which are do not cut your hair with these. This is my only option that I have right now, but go do better. I'm what not to do right now. So, essentially, as of recently, I've been going through a lot of tough situations. Situations with my family specifically, and I moved out of the primary place that I was staying in, and I am now relocated in a different place. I'm currently living with my dad, which is a lot better for me right now. And I realized when I was going through all of this, let me grab my notes. I thought that I was going to be able to do this off the top of my head, but we are proving that that's not quite possible right now. All right, I took some notes down for this, very professional of me, on ways to have gratitude show up more in your life. So as I was saying recently, the reason why I've been focusing on gratitude so much as of recently is because of everything that I'm going through right now. It became really apparent that now more than ever is one of the most necessary times for me to be expressing and practicing and taking time out of my day to show gratitude not just to myself, but to the people and the places and the things in my life that I'm truly grateful and appreciative for. Something that all of us have right now, that every human has, is a negativity bias. And what that is that our brains essentially are naturally wired to gear more towards negative thinking and negative thought patterns. And part of that is like biologically to keep ourselves safe, you know, thinking of the worst case scenario to keep us physically safe. And it's like a protective instinct that we all have. These scissors aren't working. I need to go grab new ones. Okay, we now have kitchen scissors that are a lot sharper and a trash can, because I don't know why I was just gonna free cut my hair. But basically, what I was saying before is that we have a negativity bias. So being aware of that and consciously reinforcing positivity and gratitude and feelings of contentment and like happiness, and sitting in those feelings when you feel them, because sometimes those feelings can be rare. So like really soaking it all in and taking a couple deep breaths. Okay. Bro, keep getting interrupted. It's a good thing I stopped because my dog was chewing up one of my shoes. So I had to go rescue it. But essentially, taking a few moments and deep breaths and sinking into that feeling of gratitude, and recognizing when you feel that way and like putting a name to the feeling. So like when something good happens, like, let me try to find an example. Oh, I get really, really excited to go hang out with my friends and like go see my friends like that. Sometimes it's like it's usually the highlight of my week, and it's like because these are people that like I hold so close to my heart and like that bring me a lot of joy and like almost giddiness. Like it's almost like a crush type of thing. So like when I do have fun with my friends and I go get to see them and like we have a good time, like naming that and being like, wow, I feel so incredibly lucky and grateful and like loved by these people, and putting names to that feeling helps me feel more gratitude for it. And it brings me more joy because I'm not just like not really recognizing the feeling and just like passing by it. I'm like stopping and sitting with the feeling, which sometimes can feel pretty awkward because I feel like a lot of times we're told to just sit with negative feelings and being like that's also like a super helpful and important aspect of recognizing your feelings as well. To like when you notice that you're feeling negatively, like acknowledge that and don't just ignore it, but like same goes for positive feelings and happy feelings, that like don't just ignore your happy feelings and your loving feelings. Like pause for a second and name those and feel grateful for them, because when you recognize them, maybe it will help you to bring more of those moments in your life, and you know what makes you happy, you know what fills you with joy and love and makes you feel giddy, and then you can do more of those things, and more of those aspects will start showing up in your life, and you'll be able to cultivate an overall general sense of more happiness and like love and community for yourself. So that's something that I definitely want to continue to do. It's cutting my hair time. I don't know if scissors should be fine on YouTube. Yeah, people cut their hair all the time. Dear God. Okay. You know, it's like, what if I didn't have this? And it's so many things. There's so many things to be grateful for that I feel like we don't really think about a lot. Also, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just chopping at my hair, which is a common theme in my life when I'm going through anything. I like I think something, this is a little sidetrack here, that when I'm going through really tough times and situations that are primarily out of my control, I like doing things and changing things that are in my control. So for example, cutting and dyeing my hair is something that I can control and I can change, and it's a change that feels safe because it's a change that I'm choosing. So when I'm going through changes that are out of my control that I can't choose, I like changing things that are in my control because it reminds me that I am essentially the god of my environment. Like, I have complete control over my internal world. And reminding myself of that I do have the ability to change, and I do have the ability to change my perspective and change the way that I see my internal world, and that can seep out into my external world regardless of what my current situation is. In order to feel gratitude, you need to take time for yourself. You need to be able to give yourself enough silence. Okay, so I just realized that I wasn't recording for the majority of that, so we're gonna go on to another point. Writing gratitude letters. Okay, you're probably like, Allie, what the fuck is a gratitude letter? I'll tell you what a gratitude letter is. A gratitude letter is writing a letter directly to a place, person, event, or thing that's positively impacted your life. You don't have to send it, but you can. And I think this is really helpful because it ties into the point that I was hammering down home earlier, that you, in order to implement more positive aspects of your life, you have to know what those positive aspects are. And naming them and verbalizing them and writing them down can be especially helpful. So taking time out of your day to write someone a letter about how grateful you are for them can increase feelings of gratitude, and, you know, maybe even show that person that they're having a positive impact on your life, which will then end result in a positive impact on their life because they're recognizing how much they mean to you. And that's kindness, bro. That's good shit. So writing gratitude letters. It can be to a thing too. Like, I'm grateful that I have scissors to cut my hair with. I don't know. Silly stuff can be cute. It can be a little fun writing exercise too if you're into writing. Or like writing a poem about someone that you love or things that you love could be really fun. And that leads into my next point. Reflecting and journaling about the following prompts. You can write these down if you want. 1. First prompt. There are many things in our lives, both large and small, that we might be grateful for. Prompt number 2. Think back over the past day and write down 5 things in your life that you are grateful for. So you can do this every day. That might be really good for you. I want to do this every night before bed because I think that would be 1, calming, and 2, I'm trying to stay off my phone before I go to sleep because that freaking blue light gets to me. I think that gratitude could also have a really positive impact on your friendships. So like when you are, I think in this day and age everything is so hyper individualistic, and we're always told like, better yourself, focus on yourself, you know, cut people off if they're not serving you. It's just really a lot of it is really self-centered and self-focused, which can be a good thing. I'm not trying to take away from any of that, and I think that it's really important that we do focus on ourselves. You know, you have to put your oxygen mask on a plane before you put anyone else's on, so you can help others. But I also think that it's important that we show love and care and respect for others as well, and make that a priority, you know? When's the last time you did something really kind for someone else, you know? Like baked cookies for someone, or baked them a meal, or wrote them a nice letter, gave them a hug, like verbally told someone how much you appreciate them. Like, we think all these things in our head, and then I feel like, why gatekeep that love and those feelings that we have for those people just to ourselves? Like, we should be telling other people how much we appreciate them and how much we love them and how important they are to us, even if they're really small things. Like, I want to start calling out when I appreciate something that someone else does for me, especially my friends. Like, my friend does something sweet for me, and I think in my head, wow, that was really sweet. Like, they grabbed my stuff after class even though they didn't need to. I didn't ask them to do that. Like, when they do that, just telling them, like, hey, I thought that was really sweet that you did that. And, you know, I think that can be a good way of communicating within your relationships as well, because it shows the other person, oh wow, they appreciated that, I'm gonna do that more often. Or like, just give them a little sense of loving, warm, fuzzy fucking feeling. Oh my god. Spread the love, bro. We all need that in these trying times right now. I think, yeah, that's something I definitely want to do more. Is tell people how grateful I am for them. It makes me feel a little less pessimistic, and it builds more of a sense of community when you do that. Hope. Okay. Yeah. I think gratitude really goes hand in hand with community and friendships. And I'm sort of recognizing that, because sometimes it can be scary to allow ourselves to feel so much love and respect and caring feelings towards another person. It can feel scary because of a number of different things. Like, I know right now, I know a lot of people that are just like socially anxious, or like really socially awkward and are quiet, including myself. And I think this has a lot to do with our phones. I'm gonna do that in a second. Okay, guys, the hair, I'm gonna stop chopping at her. This is not, don't worry, don't judge it yet, okay? Because we're gonna take a straightener to it and like give it a little bevel, okay? Okay, we're gonna put a little bevel in my hair. You're probably like, why is this bitch always in the dark? I get a lot of migraines, okay? So the light hurts my eyes. I'm friends with the darkness. Community, friendships. I'm really grateful to have such emotionally mature friends, I feel like, for my age, and have such a loving support system. And I think, like I said before, a lot of us are, even though we are emotionally mature, sort of, I'll just speak for myself. I still definitely have a lot of insecurities that I think sometimes prevent me from cultivating community because I'm scared to open up and put myself out there in such a vulnerable way and to rely on people. And I think there's a lot of skepticism, and there's a lot of, I feel like, general understanding out there where it's like, you shouldn't rely on anyone else. Like, you should only be relying on yourself, because, you know, people can leave your life and you're like all that you have. But I don't really think that's a healthy mentality to have, and that's not what I want for myself. Normalize relying on other people, like, not in a codependent way, but like, it's important to build community sometimes outside of your family, especially if you have a toxic family or they're not like fully accepting of you, to find people who are fully accepting of you and who you do really have fun with, and, you know, engage with them more, you know, see them more often in person, like, talk with them about how you're feeling. I feel like I am sometimes able to build really good surface level friendships where it's like, I see you, which are totally fine as well. Like, I see you, you know, at school and we sit next to each other in school, but it's like, I don't hang out with you besides that. Like, we don't see each other outside of school. Or like, you don't come over to my home, or, you know, we don't have frequent hangouts. And I want to implement hanging out with people more outside of school and self, because you are fully capable of doing that. Like, sorry, I just gotta know. You're fully capable of finding people who love and respect you. You're fully capable of fostering community, and, you know, nurturing community and friendships, and finding platonic love, basically, has been a really big theme for me. You know, I got out of a relationship this past winter, and I haven't been dating anyone since, and I don't really plan on doing that anytime soon. You know, things change, but I really want to focus on cultivating a really good my hair is just tweaking right now. A really good sense of community, platonic love, you know, fostering friendships is really important for me, and being able to talk about like your feelings and working through things with people. Like, something that I think that's important is when you have a problem, when you have an issue, let's say that I'm really struggling on social confidence, and I feel socially awkward, I feel insecure when I'm in like big groups, I feel like I can't fully be myself, I feel overwhelmed, confused in the situation, I don't know how to go about it. I end up just wanting to shut myself off from everything. I end up not wanting to talk to anyone. I end up not even trying, because it's like, what's the point? I'm just so socially awkward, it's not gonna work. Find someone that you trust, find a friend that you trust, and talk to someone about your issue. Talk to someone about the way that you're feeling, and it's okay to work through issues with someone else who's willing to do that. And I'd say that it's even more beneficial than going about it yourself sometimes. Like, having someone who knows what's going on, and someone who can like support you and gas you up, someone that you can rely on, can be really, really amazing. And allowing yourself to open up like that is really, really vulnerable and really scary, and can take a lot of time to do. But when you do end up doing it, it can be so beautiful. And so I have a friend right now who's like really amazing at doing that for me. and someone I feel like that I can work through issues like that with. And then maybe the other person is like, hey, I'm also feeling socially awkward. I also need help with my social confidence. Let's do this together. Let's, maybe once a week, let's sit down, let's hang out together, let's go get coffee, let's talk about our feelings of, feeling socially anxious, feeling socially awkward, and like how to go about it. Let's text each other when we're feeling this way, let's gas each other up, maybe let's make a new friend together, let's invite someone to go to coffee with us and like, chat and things, and be able to talk with someone through that process can make it feel less isolating, and then it can hold you more accountable because you have someone else who is going to go through that process with you, and who's going to kind of hold your hand, and you might feel more motivated to do it because it's like you have a sense of community, you have someone else who's going through the same thing with you, and you're not alone in those feelings, which I think is really important to have. And trust me, not everyone has the luxury of having someone like that. It can be hard when you don't feel like you have anyone that you can rely on and can do that with, but try not to shut yourself off from it because of your feelings of insecurity. Don't allow those feelings of insecurity to block beautiful friendships and foster relationships, And that kind of goes into like rejection, like practicing getting rejected. There's people out there who you're gonna ask to, want to go out on coffee and do this, and they're gonna be like, hell no, But there's also a ton of people out there who are gonna like completely love and support you through that process that you might never have found if you didn't ask, or if you didn't assert yourself or put yourself out there, or even just like decided to sit with a group of people rather than sit by yourself. It takes time for these things to happen, and it's not something that can just happen overnight, but it's something that you shouldn't stop trying to do, And even if you don't have that person, like, you can, like, as of now, be that person for yourself. There's times when I've had to do that, when I've just had to like write in my journal every night and be like, okay, this is how I felt today. I felt really socially awkward. How am I going to go about feeling better about this, in the future? And even like YouTube videos, ironic that I'm making one right now, but even YouTube videos have been really helpful for me when I felt like I didn't have that support system, because it's like listening to other people, look up like, YouTube videos about how to overcome social anxiety. People who have gone through that and can share their experiences about it, and make you feel less alone. Because I think the main thing is that sometimes when we go through things that are awkward or embarrassing or scary or challenging, it's the first hit is that we feel those things. We feel that awkwardness, we feel the shame, we feel the embarrassment, we feel, scared and all of those things. But then there's the second hit, is that you feel that feeling and then you're like, I feel bad for having this feeling, and I feel crazy and alone in the fact that I'm feeling this, which is the second hit that can sort of be relieved when you find community and, maybe even find a sense of belonging and a more sense of belonging in yourself, and like, you're not alone and you're not crazy for feeling those things. All of those feelings are valid and you're allowed to feel all of those, and they're normal feelings. Like, nobody goes through life without feeling awkward or scared in a social situation, and it's especially something that we have to like consciously work on in these times, in the age of the fucking internet. It's like you're in a group of people and you sit down next to all these people and everyone's on their phone, like including myself, like when I get scared, and like consciously being like, okay, I'm gonna set my phone down and I'm gonna ask the person in front of me a question and be like, how was your day? What's going on? What's up? Like, initiate the conversation. Reminding myself to consciously do that, because it certainly doesn't come naturally, for me at least. Like, I feel like I'm in a place now where I feel so much more like, a couple years ago, I was so nervous to talk to new people. Like, I was really quiet, I was really shy, I felt really reserved, until I was with people who I knew liked me. Then I felt like I could fully be myself. Then I felt like I could fully, like, be loud and crazy, and I felt safe to do embarrassing things. But now I still feel nervous about it, but I feel more able to be myself in front of people I don't know. Because when you're with people you don't know if they like you. You don't know what their opinions are. You don't know what their worldviews are. You don't know what their values are. You don't know. They might totally end up hating me. And that's okay, because you're not meant to be liked by everyone. You're not meant to be liked by everyone. And if you are liked by everyone, there's something wrong, because you know, everyone's allowed to have their own perspectives and worldviews, and you have the right to that, you know? But, like, not knowing what someone thinks of you can be really scary, and then wanting to please them and not knowing how to please them, it can just feel really overwhelming, and it causes me to sort of, used to cause me to sort of, like, shut down in certain social situations, you know? But now it's like, I know that I'm not for everyone. And so when I do have an interaction with someone, you know, maybe I put my phone down and I try to talk to a new person, a stranger, and I'm like, hey, how was your day? And we start talking, the conversation doesn't go well. I can tell that they don't like me. I can tell that they might be a little annoyed by me. I can tell that I did something that they thought was embarrassing. I made a joke that they didn't think was funny. You know, the conversation is just really not going well. Instead of internalizing all of that and being like, this person doesn't like me, there's something wrong with me, I wasn't funny enough, I wasn't, you know, I should have just stayed on my phone, it was weird that I was talking to them, it was weird that I said that, why did I do that, you know, being so hypercritical of myself. Instead of doing that, being gratitude alert, being grateful that I had that conversation and I had that interaction with them, and now I know, hey, this person, clearly, I'm not their cup of tea. They're not really liking me. The vibes aren't right. It doesn't feel good. I do feel kind of embarrassed. I do feel kind of like, ooh, these thoughts are starting to come up. Feeling grateful for, like, okay, I'm proud of myself that I had that conversation with that person. I'm proud of myself for putting myself out there. And I'm grateful that I realized that that person isn't for me. Because now I'm not gonna, you know, and it depends on the situation. You might want to have a couple conversations with someone before you decide to completely cut them off, you know? And so it's like, I'm gonna put my energy elsewhere. I'm gonna stop trying to please this person. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna make it my mission for them to like me now. I'm not gonna go out of my way to say hi to them in the halls and, like, try to go about the conversation in a different way so that they do like me and that they do say good things about me and that the conversation goes well and I feel validated by them, because it's like, they didn't like me before, but now they like me because I, you know, changed and warped myself so that they do like me, and figuring out what they do like. No, don't waste your time and energy doing all of that. That's not your job. It's not your job for everyone to like you. It's your job to show up as the best version of yourself that you possibly can in the moment, and try to go and find and make new connections and be grateful, you know, like practicing gratitude for, like, even when you do have a bad connection with someone, being like, I'm grateful that I know that person's not for me, and I'm gonna walk away and go find love and respect and happiness and connection elsewhere. Not my cup of tea. Thank you, next. Thank you, next. Ariana Grande. Guys, I don't know how I'm feeling about these bangs right now. I think I like them, you know? I think I might have to go over I might have to bevel them one more time. But I think they're cute. Maybe I'll flip my hair. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I'm going to go thrifting today, which I'm really excited for. With my friends. You know, and when... don't keep people around just to keep them around. You know, there's a bunch of different types of friendships and relationships that you can. Like, I do have some friends where it's like, I know that this person has really different values from me. I know that this person maybe has really different political views from me. I know that this person doesn't agree with a lot of my core values. However, this person's fucking funny. Me and this person have great banter. Me and this person get along really well in this aspect. We have the same sense of humor. And so when I see them at school, for example, it's like, I really enjoy having that banter with you. I enjoy having that conversation with you, and we just have a really surface level friendship. And those types of friendships are also completely okay and valid and healthy to have. Like, I'm not gonna go for you for emotional support. I'm not gonna tell you about my personal life, but you know what we will do? We will crush this project together and have fun. And so, you know, not everyone is gonna be suitable to be your jack of all trades friend who has it all together and is perfect, all-knowing, wonderful, loving, community boundary person. There are some friendships that are just really surface level, and I find a lot of joy in those friendships too, you know? They make me really happy and they make me feel really giddy, and it's like, wow, we can be so, even though our core values are so different, we can, you know, have this surface level. And I don't like saying surface level because I feel like it has like not negative connotations with it, but we can have this like, you know, chillax, no pressure friendship where it's just like we see each other every once in a while and we're partners in class every once in a while and we have a lot of fun together. And it's like those are super important to foster as well, you know? Okay, whoa, you hear that? I think that's all for today. I hope that you took something away from this video, and I hope that you enjoyed watching me cut my hair. I don't know. I kind of like when it's not just like a straight bang. I like when it's like kind of messy, you know? I've been rocking with it recently. Okay. Well, I love you, and I hope you have the most wonderful rest of your day or evening. I hope you have the most wonderful morning. Whatever you're doing, I hope it goes well.
Tell him off right to his face. And even though you barely know each other, it's still